Salutations, adventurers! Welcome to Roll for Felicity, where we play serialized one-shots in a multitude of systems with assorted players. And today the player is just me. Just little old me. I am playing The Witch's Almanac. Hello, bye! Tallywinkle is in chat! Hello, Tally. How are you? I'm very excited to play this game. If I had a better setup, I could actually have the physical cards out, but my desk is so small and I don't have a second camera, so I did a little thing on playingcard.io. I'm so excited. Good, I'm glad. I'm excited too. I actually haven't played a solo game like this, like with the card setup and everything, and I'm sure, like, I saw that it was for a game jam, so I'm assuming there's other games with like this setup, but I have not played any like it, and I think it's a very cool way to set up a game. I'm going to be playing this. I need to write down somewhere that I start with 8 hours. So I've already set up my deck. Since I was doing it virtually, I was like, well, I actually need to decide all this stuff earlier. Also, let me know if my music is too loud or if you're having trouble hearing me. So I set up my deck of playing cards without the jokers. I have a dice on screen, as you can see. I have my little character marker. I'm starting off on the King of Hearts. And I decided that the potion that I'm looking for is the blooming potion. So I already have that set up somewhere in here. Oh, there's an ad break, so I'll stall a little bit. I am drinking this kombucha that I got, which honestly the can is just really pretty. I don't always like kombucha, but I got this and I was like, oh, it's gay kombucha, and it has a cute can, and it was at Aldi, and then I actually really like it. It's got like tea, like lavender tea and jasmine tea. And it's not super sour. Like, a lot of times I'm not as into the super sour kombucha. So, anyway, so that's what I'm drinking tonight. I felt like it was very witchy. Oh, nice! Yeah, it's nice to have a fun little surprise. Okay, so I'm doing the blooming potion. And I already did the King of Hearts. I dealt out, this array. So I believe what I need to do is I need to write down somewhere that I have 8 hours to start with. Let's write this down. 8 hours. I'm writing it off screen because this little playing card thing doesn't have a place to put a note. And I get to choose an adjacent card, not diagonal, and move my player token there, flip the card, look at the card, and resolve the card's effects. So basically what I'm doing is, let me see, do I need to decide anything about my character before I start? I don't think I do. I don't think I will. I think I'll decide as I go. So I'm a little witch. And I don't think I'm going to decide. Normally, when I play solo games, I like decide a lot of things about my character at the start. I think I'm just going to decide things as it comes up. This also isn't necessarily a journaling game, which I also am used to playing, like ones where you write everything down. Crack open my booch. So I guess I just start. I guess I just jump right in. So I've got my little purple token. I'm going to move it here. And, oh, my token disappears underneath. Is there a thing that I can make it stay on top? Whatever, it doesn't really matter. The Queen of Diamonds. Okay, so let me look at the Queen of Diamonds as I set off to find this blooming potion, which I just picked because I've been, like, planting stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of in the mood for that. Okay, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds. The wind is picking up. At first you think it's just a late evening wind, but it becomes more powerful. You clutch your bag tightly, fearing the wind could blow it away. From the remaining deck of cards, draw a new card and place it face down on the card you came from. Wait a minute. So then does that mean I'm gonna have a different Draw a new card and place it face down on the card you came from. So I'm going to place it on my home. I have the original deck off to the side. So I place it there. Spend 1 hour. Oh my gosh. So now I have 7 hours. Yeah, so my witch sets out, and I'm imagining like an older witch, maybe like the classic witch. So I leave my little witch house, which I think has a big garden. That's why I'm getting the blooming potion, because I think one of my plants, maybe like my favorite rose bush, is getting wilty, and so I'm like, oh, I need to get a blooming potion. And I think it's the time that it is now, which actually a rose wouldn't even be blooming yet anyway, but maybe if I'm doing it the time it is now, most roses wouldn't be in bloom. I feel like most roses are summer, although maybe that's just the roses I had, I don't know. So maybe I've been really down lately. Maybe my witch is older and she doesn't know if she's going to live until the summer, and so she wants to see her favorite rose bloom one more time, and that's why I'm getting this blooming potion. So I think it's like maybe a little bit earlier in the year than it is now, so it's like can get really cold at night, and is like the weather's kind of unpredictable. So I think that's what's happening. And I think, I didn't even say this, which, I mean, Tally is the main person in chat right now, but for anybody who didn't write this game, the reason why you have 8 hours, I'll just read this. You sit in a stiff yet comfortable wooden rocking chair next to a crackling fire. Beams of sunlight spill through your dusty old window as you reach over and pull a large, well-worn tome from your bookshelf. It is a faded, deep blue color with golden lettering emblazoned on the front that reads, "The Witch's Almanac." You consult a dog-eared page near the middle to confirm what you already know. The potion you've been studying requires 2 key components, and this potion can only be brewed under the light of the pink moon. You need to journey out to find these components, return home, break out your trusty cauldron, and get boiling. Venturing out into the woods around you is always exciting. The very trees are teeming with magical energy, causing time to pass in weird ways. Idly, you glance over at your lunar calendar and your stomach drops. Uh-oh, where did the time go? The next pink moon is tonight! You quickly gather your things and prepare to begin your journey. There's not a moment to waste. So that's why I only have 8 hours, because I have to get this done. Okay, so I already spent an hour battling the wind, and I'm guessing, like, I feel like I kind of, like, lost my way a little bit, because the card came down over the, my home. So yeah, that's my first thing that's going on. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Draw a new card and place it face down on the card you came from. Spend 1 hour. Okay, I did that. Let's keep going this direction. Which I'll put this and flip it first. Oh, another queen. Okay, the Queen of Clubs. Queen of Clubs. You hear footsteps nearby. You peek cautiously through a bush and see yourself. Your past self? Your future self? You're not quite sure. Do you interfere? Spend 1 hour. My gosh, I'm running out of time. I need to gain some hours. Yeah, so I'm kind of, I feel like since I decided that my witch was old and she didn't know if she was gonna live to see her flower bloom again, I feel like this is my young self. Like, or at least I assume it is. It looks like a young version of me. And I see my younger self maybe the first time I came to these woods. Like maybe when I was just starting off as a witch. And it's like my younger self is coming towards me. Like we're crossing paths. Ooh. This is like the classic, the classic time thing which is almost a cliche, but I feel like I see this younger version of myself kind of scared and alone in the woods. And I remember back to when I first became a witch and maybe like running away from home and finding myself in this woods, and it was getting darker and it was scary and I was lost, and I ran into this older woman who told me about a nearby cottage that could be fixed up, that had like the perfect place for a garden, and said something like I looked like I had a green thumb. And I think in this moment I realize that I'm the older version, the older woman that I saw before. And so as I see this younger version of myself, I step out into like the path and I say, "Young woman, you look like you have a green thumb. I passed a little cottage nearby. You look lost. It seemed abandoned. Maybe you could do well for each other." And I like tell my younger self to like go and give her directions to the cottage that we end up living in. And I think I just continue going forward in a straight line. 7 of diamonds. Let's see. 7 of diamonds. A small babbling brook crosses your path. The sound of the water is peaceful. Oh wait, also what cards am I looking for? I think it's hearts. I could have come across one of the things and just totally forgot. Ace of Hearts and Queen of Hearts. Okay, so I have not come across either component yet. Okay, so 7... What did I say? 7 of diamonds. A small babbling brook crosses your path. The sound of the water is peaceful. You take a moment to sit by the running water and rest your weary legs. Spend 1 hour. Okay. I'm down to 5 hours. I feel like I might not find my potion. But yeah, I'm an older woman. I feel like it's like, you know, maybe kind of warm today. Well, no, I guess it's not warm because the wind was picking up. Maybe my feet are just tired. And so well, but the woods are strange, so it can be windy in one place and then warm in another. So wherever I am, I think it's warmer. My feet are a little bit swollen from walking for so long. I think this is the most I've walked in a while. And I rest by the running water. And then I continue on my way. 4 of clubs. Ooh. Wait, is this clubs? Yes. Sometimes I get clubs and spades mixed up. Okay. You come across a small clearing with what looks like a ritual space set up. It is in the shape of a clock with a circle drawn in the dirt and some twigs placed as clock hands. If you take a moment to perform a ritual here, gain 1 hour. Ooh. Yeah, so I see this and kind of like, you know, dust my hands off and crouch down on the ground. And I think, what is the ritual? I think I know what it is when I see it, because I've been in these woods for a long time. And I know what to do. I feel like whenever I have to come up with magic stuff, I'm always like, I don't really know what makes sense. Like, in my Monster Hearts game right now, there's, like, people keep coming up with all these different questions of, like, now, how does this work? How does this work? And I'm always like, oh my gosh, I have to come up with, like, okay, for Monster Hearts, one of my players is playing the Queen, but it hasn't really been revealed, like, how she has her, like, powers, basically. And so she has decided, all the other players have been like, I'm a vampire, I'm a ghost, like all this different stuff, and she kind of doesn't believe them, and so her parents are scientists, and so she, at during the last session, which was on Monday, she they were all at a party, and so she gathered up all the cups and is gonna do like DNA samples on them. And now I'm like, I have to figure out what she's gonna find. Like, when she like, what does ghost DNA look like? What is like fairy DNA? And I'm like, I have to actually come up with like something that makes this make sense, or like something for her to find. I have no idea what that's gonna be. And I told her we were talking about it, and she was like, that's a you problem. And I was like, that's true. Okay, so what is this ritual gonna be? Okay. It's in the shape of a clock with a circle drawn in the dirt and some twigs placed as clock hands. But this kind of reminds me, and since I'm kind of doing like a flower thing, I think, aren't there flower clocks? Let me look this up. I feel like there's like children's gardens that have flower clocks. Is that a thing? Or clock garden? Probably clock garden. Clock garden design. Yes. Okay. What are clock gardens? The floral clock garden originated with Carolus Linnaeus, an 18th century Swedish botanist. You know what? I remember Carolus Linnaeus because of Linnaeus Garden. Did anyone else ever read those books? Is that what it was? I'm gonna get on another tangent. Is that what it was called? Linnaeus Garden? Okay, wait, no. Linnaeus Garden is a musician. What was the book called? Lydia's Garden? Oh, maybe it's Lydia's Garden. No? What was this book called? I have not heard of flower clocks, but it sounds very true. Okay, let me get back to what a flower clock is. Okay. What I was thinking they are is that the flowers bloom at different times, but that seems wild, so I don't know if that's... Yeah, I am right. That is what it is. Okay. Carolus Linnaeus used 3 groups of flowers in his clock garden design. These clock garden plants included flowers that changed their opening and closing depending on weather, flowers that changed opening and closing times in response to the length of the day, and flowers with a set opening and closing time. The clock garden clearly proved that all plants have a biological clock. All plants have glocks. The first step in making a clock garden involves identifying flowers that open and close at different times during the day. You should also select flowers that are well suited to your growing region and ones that will flower at about the same time of the growing season. So yeah, that is what you do. And so some clock garden plants are, I feel like I've seen this at like a children's garden before. So, this is spotted cat's ear or flax at 6 a.m., African marigold or lettuce at 7 a.m. Oh, it says my encoding settings are going crazy. Okay. I don't know why that is. I don't think I can change it while I'm live. So hopefully the stream isn't completely cursed. It's weird that it says encoding overloaded when I'm doing a solo stream. I've never had it do that before. I don't know. Do I have something open that I don't need open? Let's close out of that. Getting distracted. Okay. We'll see if that fixes it. I don't know if it will. Okay. Mouse ear hawkweed, scarlet pimpernel, dandelion, 8 a.m., calendula. I just like reading flower names, to be honest. Catchfly, prickly sow, 9 a.m. Star of Bethlehem, California poppy is at 10 a.m. Star of Bethlehem, also 11 a.m. Goat's beard, blue passion flowers, morning glories at noon. Is that when they open or close? Oh, I think they probably close, because morning glories are only open in the morning. Anyway, so that's what a flower garden is. Let me close out of this. I wonder if it's the ads that it was running that was making, because they were like video ads. I may have been messing with my computer. Okay, so I think what I do, now that I know that a clock garden is a thing and I'm not just making it up, the ritual that I do is I take some time to like look around the area and find plants that I can recognize that have different times that they open or close, and also figure out what time it is actually for me right now. And I orient the clock. I put flowers around the clock and like move the sticks to make it an hour earlier than it actually is. So like if the plant that's blooming right now, I put that in an hour before where like the position of the clock is to make it so that it's an hour earlier. Does that make sense? So that's what I do. I go around and do that, and I gain an hour as like it stays the same time. I trick the clock. And let's just keep going straight forward. 4 of spades. Four of spades. There is a rustling in the bush ahead. A large lone wolf emerges, looking at you with golden yellow eyes. Its gaze is steady and unblinking. The wolf does not make any move to come closer, nor does it flee. Are you afraid, or do you feel that this wolf is a friend? Spend 2 hours. Ooh, that's so interesting. Okay, so now I'm running out of time, really running out of time. Now I'm halfway through. I only have 4 hours left. Okay. Am I afraid, or do I feel that the wolf is a friend? Interesting. And why do I spend 2 hours? I think I'm afraid. Because I'm kind of... I think I'm afraid of dying. Like, I feel like it's... like, usually with things with witches where they're older, it's like, oh, I'm ready. Like, I'm not afraid. But I think my witch is afraid of dying. And so... and I think that's why I'm, like, wanting to see this flower bloom. Because I know that it's not good for the flower, necessarily. But I'm also, like, afraid of not seeing it bloom again. And so I think the reason why it's 2 hours is I think that I, like, back away from this wolf, but it follows me. And I think I spend, like, 2 hours, like, trying to lose this wolf. And, like, sometimes trying to run, and then I, you know, stumble and fall, and it's behind me. And I think I just keep running from this wolf and get very far off track. And I think eventually I think I've lost it. And so I move up here. 2 of hearts. Which is so close to what I need, but is not what I need. You hear the sound of thunder rumbling in the distance. Your skin prickles the way it always does when a storm is near. Roll 1d6. If the result is 5 or 6, the thrill of a possible storm drives you to move more quickly. Gain 1 hour. All right, let's see. I've got my little dice here. It's a 2. So I don't lose an hour, but I don't gain an hour. So yeah, I'm like you know, I'm running, this wolf is like behind me, the storm is coming. I think I'm gonna go up here and be kind of far from home. Hey! Queen of Hearts, that's one that I need. Right? So I found one of the material components. Yes, I need the Ace of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts, and I found the Queen of Hearts. Nice. Let's see what the prompt is. The sound of buzzing fills your ears. You see what you assume is a beehive ahead. It's the size of a tree. Flying towards you is a bee the size of your palm wearing a tiny crown. The bee queen gives you her blessing, an essential component of the blossoming potion. Oh, that's so nice. I didn't look at any of the prompts beforehand, so I didn't know that they would say like what the, you know, the potion components. So that's so, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, so I'm, like, it's storming. I think I run in the, I think the reason why I don't gain time is because I'm afraid of the storm. So it doesn't energize me, it frightens me. And so I am running from the wolf, I'm running from the storm, and I go to, I think it's like one of those things where you can see, like when there's a storm, but it's like you're on the edge of it, so you can see the sunlight and you can see like the break in the clouds. So I think I'm just like kind of going towards the break in the clouds. And that's when I get to the buzzing. And I think the bee queen's blessing is, I think something about the storm is making the bees swarm and want to move to a new location. Like they think their hive is going to be destroyed. And so I think the blessing is, it's a bee the size of my palm. So I think it's like a piece of, beeswax that has like the just nectar. Like it's just nectar inside it. It's not fully honey yet. And it has like the caps on it, but it's not like, you know, it hasn't been turned into honey. And so it's this very sweet, very like runny piece of beeswax that she puts in my palm. I just saw a beekeeper recently on TikTok and they were showing like when beeswax just has nectar in it. And so I get this fresh nectar. So there you go. I've got that. So I still have another component that I need, so I'm going to go this way. Oh! And that's the other component that I need. And I still have 4 hours left, so I might actually make it home. Let me see. How far am I away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's, the odds are stacked against me that I'll make it home, but... Ace of Hearts. In a clearing in a perfectly trimmed circle of fresh green grass, you see the moondrop flower. This is a key component for a blooming potion. You carefully pick the flower and place it in your bag, knowing that the flower will regrow at the next full moon. That's so nice. Yeah, so I have the beeswax and I have the flower. And I'm going to continue on. I'm going to continue this way. Ace of Clubs. Oh, that's another component. Okay. Was I supposed to, I wonder if I was supposed to take the other components out. I don't think I was. Yeah, I don't think I was. I think I can just get extra components. You discover a tiny rat crown perched carefully upon. So I'm just like running from this wolf, running from the storm. I find these bees. Things will be in there. Okay, cool. I thought that was the case. That's very fun. So yeah, I'm running from the wolf. I'm running from the storm. I like see these bees. I get a blessing, and then immediately next to it, it's like, oh, here's... Oh, you know what? I wonder if some of the nectar is from this moondrop flower. And then I go out of that clearing, trying to get back home, and discover a tiny rat crown perched carefully upon an equally small red velvet throne. This is just the component you need to make a potion of skullduggery. As you carefully place the crown in your bag for safekeeping, you wonder what skullduggery means. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll keep this in store for next time. Okay, 3 of spades. You see a large birch tree ahead with markings carved into its bark. The trees have a collection of knots that look like eyes gazing at you as you approach. Upon closer inspection, you realize these are important glyphs, one of the components needed for a potion of delirium. I'm just on a roll. I'm getting all these components. Yeah, so I'm packing my bag full. I think as I'm gathering all these things, I'm kind of contemplating whether or not, like, what to do with these other ones, because I'm thinking, oh, I don't even know. Like, I think moon cycles, like, if it's a specific moon, it's once a year. And so I'm thinking, oh, these are things that I need to brew. These are different potions that I could brew before the pink moon sets. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'll be around. And then I think I'm wondering, like, Hey, Sky! Welcome in, yes, and Tally, who wrote this game, is in chat as well. But yeah, this time I'm playing a very old witch who may die soon. But hello, I hope you're doing well. I'm a witch contemplating her own demise. I think my witch is thinking back to how she saw her younger self earlier, and thinking about, you know, maybe this younger self, like, is there a way that I could get these components to my younger self? And I was like, just thinking of, like, how, since I'm probably not going to have time in my life to use some of these, like, what to do with them. Very cool, yeah. It's a very fun game. Yeah. So I think my witch is just thinking about, like, her legacy. And, like, what to do with, like, you know, all her experiences. I think she's a pretty lonely witch. I don't think she has an apprentice or anything like that. And so she's just thinking, like, oh, like, what, you know, what is going to happen with my life and my things? And, like, should I find someone to give these things to? As I continue on. The Jack of Spades. You see 3 elk emerge from the trees nearby and begin to approach you. Their antlers are impressive and imposing. You have a bad feeling in your stomach. You give the elk a small bow and slowly back away. Spend 2 hours. Oh no, I might not make it. I only have 2 hours left to get home. And I have at least 3 more cards. So I might not do it. Yeah. The elk. I've had a lot of creature encounters. I've also explored, like, a lot of the woods, I feel like. Your emotes are so cute. I really like them. The elk. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would happen with these elk. It's kind of like a bad omen when you're thinking about your death and then you see huge woodland creatures and get a sinking feeling in your stomach. 9 of Hearts. Yeah, you're welcome. They're very cute. Did you do them yourself? Your emotes? Let me see. 9 of hearts. You look up and see a shooting star streak across the night sky. Make a wish. The next time you roll 1d6, instead you can... Yeah, I haven't played anything in this system before, so I thought this was very fun. They're very cute. I thought I remembered on your stream you said that you had done them yourself. They're very good. I also really like your art on your itch page, because I don't know when you added it to there. I don't remember seeing it before, but when I was looking. Yeah, I have not done anything. I've not played any other games in the system. There's so many systems that I feel like I always see people like Carta. I always see people talking about on Twitter, and also like Lancer. I have, but I've never played. What's the other one? There's another big one that I always see people talking about that I haven't played. That are like systems that you can do a lot of different things in. What is the other one that I'm thinking of? I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. I highly recommend playing others. The Carta Jam I submitted this game too. Lots of cool stuff. I will definitely check them out. I want to do. Is it primarily a solo system, or is this just a solo game in that system? And there's games that aren't solo. Because like I said, I've just seen people talk about it, but I haven't played any of the other games in the system. Why can't I think of the other one? There's another one that people always talk about that I'm always like, I need to play that, and I haven't yet. And it's one like Carta where you can do like, there's a bunch of games that are in this system that are like different. The one on my itch that I updated recently, I love that one. Oh yes! It's a commission that I didn't draw. Yes, yeah. I thought it was recent, because I think the last time I had gone to your itch was during... I don't remember. It was during a bundle or something. I don't remember. But I was looking on your itch page like several months ago, and I think it was newer since then. But it's very good. It's made to be a solo system, but there's a few that are multi, I think. One that comes to mind is 2-player by Logan/Breathing Stories. Okay, cool. I'll have to check them out. I'm sure I have other ones, because I've bought so many bundles that, like, I'm sure I have other Carta systems. It's really bugging me that I can't think of the other... I think it's like Gila RPG's one. Lumen is the other one that people always talk about that I haven't played. Okay, did I just oh yes, 9 of hearts. Let's see. Yeah, so it's definitely getting later then, especially since I only have 2 hours left. So, Light, yes, I forget to. Yeah, Light is, I think, also Spencer Campbell, but I think Lumen is the one that I always see people talking about. Doing like different systems in, but Light is another one, yeah. I think he has one called Light and he has one called Lumen, which, you know, they're actually, that's funny because I'm playing next week, because I used to play more solo games, and then I kind of got out of the habit, and then I was like playing more video games, like there were a lot of video games that I wanted to play on stream, and so I was like, recently I was like, I really want to do more solo games. I have a bunch of them. Like, if I don't have a reason to play a solo game, I'm less likely to play it, which is just how I am with everything. Like, that's how I am with all tabletop games. Like, if I'm not doing it for stream, it's just less likely that I'll do it, which is why I started streaming in the first place. And so the one I'm playing next week is by Gila RPGs, and it's called... Why can't I remember any names of things? It's a Hitman game. Time to Kill, which I'm excited for that one. I think that'll be very cool. All right, so I'm gonna go here. I might make it home. 3 of Hearts. Oh, I think I will make it home. The terrain changes, shifting from firm, packed ground, becoming marshy and swamp-like. You hear a chorus of croaks nearby, a family of frogs. The frogs give you guidance and help you navigate the swamp without getting stuck. You thank them, gain 1 hour. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm up to 3 hours and I'm only 1 space away from home. Definitely one of the frogs has to be Gerb, of course. It's Gerb and his family. Let me put a Gerb in the chat. That's such a cute prompt. A family of frogs. Yeah, so I'm kind of, that's so cute. All hail Gerb. Gerb finds me home. I think or finds me home. Sends me home. I think, if we're bringing Gerb in, I think one of the frog family forms a little bubble of water around himself and floats ahead of me to guide me home, which is the next card. Which normally I would just be home, but because it's on top of another one because of my first card, it's the 10 of clubs. Oh. Oh! Oh my gosh. The ground begins to slope upwards, the grass becoming a mixture of larger stones and gravel. Quickly you find yourself getting out of breath. Have you discovered a mountain in the middle of this forest? Spend 2 hours, which that would put me at 0, except for Gerb helping me. So I think Gerb is, like, kind of bobbing up, and I think, like, kind of is, since he's ahead of me, like, goes up ahead and then, like, comes back and croaks excitedly, because I feel like my house is in, like, a different place than it was when I left. Like, I don't think my house is at the top of, like, a mountain, but because of, like, the changing of the forest, I'm in this different place. And so I huff and puff, but I make it back home with 1 hour to spare. If you wish, reflect on the following prompts at the conclusion of your journey, which I do wish. Were you successful in retrieving the necessary components for your potion, or did you run out of time and watch the pink moon set before you could find what you needed? I found everything. I found everything that I needed. What potion did you attempt to make? What does the potion do? Why did you decide to make it? Perhaps you discovered some extra components along the way. Would you add those to your cauldron just to see what happens? I did find some extra components. So I attempted to make the blooming potion, and I did make it. And I think, I made it to make this rose bush bloom early. Oh, I'm trying to decide how that would resolve. Oh, this song is this song is sometimes good in the playlist, but sometimes I want to skip it. Let me see, what about this one? This is a good one. So, oh, I don't even know if the music is audible to stream. I think I turned it down way too low. There we go. I'm trying to decide if I would use this potion or not, because it's not good for the flower to bloom this early. I think it's early enough in spring in the game that it could get cold enough at night. Like, we're not past the time when it's like the last frost. So it's not necessarily good for me to use this potion right now. So I think what I do is I make the potion. I put the other things that I found, like, on my shelf with, like, other components and things like that. I make the blooming potion, and as I'm making it, I'm kind of thinking about, like, if I use this on my favorite rose bush, like, it might die with me. And I think about when I was younger and, like, when I first came to this cottage, like, this rose bush was there to, like, was there when I got there. So, like, I helped it grow and, like, nourished it and nurtured it, I guess, not nourished it. And I'm thinking, do I want this rose bush to die with me, which could happen if I use this blooming potion, or do I want it to be here to welcome the next person who comes to this cottage after me? And so I think I make the blooming potion, but I decide not to use it at least tonight. Even though I really want to. And I think I just label it and, like, I think put it, like, in a more prominent place. So, like, not maybe, like, on a shelf with, like, other potions and stuff, but, like, maybe I put it, like, I'm imagining my mom has, like, a cabin, and there's a, like, where the sink is, there's, like, a window by the sink, and so you can look out of it while you're, like, doing dishes or whatever. And so I think that's how my cottage is too. So I'm looking out the window, and I think I can see the rose bush from my window, and I place the potion, the little potion bottle, in the windowsill, so it's, like, in the same line of sight as this rose. And I think maybe I'll use it. But I think I'll wait at least until after the frost, where I can enjoy the rosebush without hurting it. Song. Come on, give me something more. Give me something more thoughtful. What about this one? Sure. What locations or creatures did you encounter along your journey? Did you make any new friends or new enemies? I encountered a lot of creatures, so I think I made new friends, and at least one creature that I don't know if they're a friend or an enemy at all. So I think about the wolf and how I ran away from the wolf. But I think, like, maybe if I would have approached things differently, I would have been friends. Like, maybe we would have been friends. And then I think about the queen bee and how I met her. And I think about the elk that I was also afraid of, that I kind of ran away from. But every time I ran away from something, it brought me to something. It ended up bringing me to something good. So the elk I ran away from, and then I ran into the frog family. So yeah, I definitely met a lot of new creatures. Do you plan to journey out into the forest again? I don't know. I think the witch looks around and thinks about the wolf and thinks about the elk and thinks maybe it's getting too dangerous out there for me. I have everything that I need. I have my garden. I have, like, preserves, and I have, like, things from, like, you know, when times were good to get me through until things start blooming again and growing again. And so I think maybe, like, looking back at it and, like, thinking about, like, climbing up the hill, I don't know if I will go out to the woods again. Then I also think of how I saw a shooting star and made a wish right before I left, and I think it'd be an awful waste to have a wish that I don't use. So I think I mostly decide that I'm not going to go into the forest again. But maybe I should look for an apprentice. Maybe I use my wish for an apprentice. I think I'm not going to go into the woods again, but maybe someone could stumble here and I could have someone to help me. And that's the end of the game. that's my little witch story. This is so fun. Thank you, Tally, for the great game. I guess I only streamed for an hour, so I might. I'm trying to think if I should do Monster Hearts prep while I'm still on here, or if I should just be like short stream. Because it's kind of nice to have a short little stream. Let me see. Do I have anything meaningful I could do with Monster Hearts prep? If you don't already have this game, you should totally get it. Oh, it was just in chat, but I'll do it again. The Witch's Almanac by Tallywinkle, which you can get on itch. You should also follow Tally on Twitter. And then also, she also streams on Twitch, so you should follow her there too. She plays solo games, and, it's a great time. I think I might wrap up stream. I haven't been hanging out with Mike as much, and I kind of, he's home, and it's still early, so I think I might wrap up. I think it might just be a short stream. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing, why can't I think of what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm going to be playing Minecraft with my brother. And those have been fun streams. So that'll be longer too. That's usually 3 to 4 hours. So tomorrow Minecraft, and then this Saturday I'm playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and one of the people I'm playing with has never played a tabletop RPG before, so I'm very excited for that. It's definitely gonna be inspired by Our Flag Means Death, mostly in that it's gay pirates. It's going to be a gay pirates game. And then I'm also going to be playing Under the Floorboards on May 28th, which is a Saturday. So stay tuned for those games, because those will be a lot of fun. Thanks, Tally, thank you so much for letting me play your game and for writing it. It was a very nice, it was a very fun game. I really liked this format, and I'm going to have to check out more card games, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wrap up stream there. Thanks everybody, and have a great night. Bye.